All right, we ready. Come on, man. You can't clap, baby. He's just now put some shit. Like, what the fuck?
This nigga ready to go. This nigga right here, nerves is fucking short. This is a
twice.
short nerve nigga right here, man.
He done clapped twice.
I know.
Let's go, goddammit, let's go.
I'm ready.
Ready? Action.
What's happening? This is Gator,
What's happening, y'all? This Mamba.
and it's the Gator and Mamba show.
Welcome to the spot. Welcome to the joint. Always good to be here and be with present company. Good to see you again.
Yes, what's happening, fella?
Nah, nothing much, man. Just want to check in like we usually do. Started off up top. Just find out what you was up to for the weekend. What you been up to?
Oh man, I ain't do much. I came back to Minnesota, and boy, is it cold in Minnesota. Now,
Yeah, it's been that.
what I think you could have did was tell me like, hey man, it's a little chilly up here. You should bring a coat or some sweaters or something.
What?
Because I mean, shit, you know, it was
hold up.
it was just sunny
Hold
a
up.
couple days ago.
This is a whole segment part. Nigga, how long have you been up here in Minnesota?
Well, I forgot, my man.
You
Jesus.
forgot.
I'm trying to
all of a
to
sudden,
conveniently
the sun-
forget.
the
It's
sun done gave you amnesia.
Oh my God. I just want to forget all about it's cold. You know what I mean?
Apparently,
my whole
shit.
bones, everything. You know what I
well,
mean?
that shit ain't changed. And I couldn't tell you because my weekend, I was in Mexico.
Yeah.
And when I was in Mexico, apparently it snowed up in this motherfucker. But
Ice cold.
Ice cold. People were showing me pictures and shit. I'm like, don't do that. You're going to spoil my whole shit right here. This is the reason why I'm down here. And the sun was absolutely amazing.
Well, how was Mexico?
It was
me about
great,
it.
man. It was great. The people are beautiful, are genuine. You can walk down any spot, get treated with respect, with love, appreciation. Of course, people want to sell you shit, and that's cool, but they ain't overbearing and shit like that. You know, it was life, man. Even I took the family, of course,
Yeah.
but it gave my family it rejuvenated my family. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Everybody
okay.
got tans, everybody a little darker and shit like that.
Okay.
You know, the caramel are a little bit caramely. The chocolate are a little bit chocolatey.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
so
yeah,
everybody
yeah,
got a
yeah.
little something.
Naturalist.
To, we took a lot back from it, so it was fucking amazing, man.
That's what
fucking
I'm
amazing.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah. So, but now we back in the cold apparently.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be too much more of this on my side. I'm just letting it be known.
Sky's all gray and
That's the thing too. When we came back in this motherfucker landing, we couldn't even tell where the ground was because you know you still coming in. You know you got that thick cloud, but still it was still cloud on the damn ground. It's
Yeah.
like when this this bitch landed already. Like it was cloudy as shit.
he thought you was finna crash.
Because I'm sure I'm seeing clouds, and then all of a sudden it's like,
road.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Minnesota will do false flag for you
yeah.
like that. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, we got a segment today. What's our segment about?
I think it's masculine females and toxic masculinity. However, I don't know if I would specifically use this term toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I don't
because I don't
know what the fuck that is.
know what.
Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I try to look it up as if it was like a like natural word or in a dictionary or something or a common term. Ain't none of that.
Nah, sound like some motherfuckers want to be therapists and making shit up.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to kind of line that out because we do got a guest today.
Yeah.
Right, we do got a guest today that'll help us shape and mold what that term I guess is, and just overall just calculating what masculinity is and what that looks like on either part. Well,
Okay.
we're going to define that aspect for the most part because
Who better
right.
too?
Right.
Okay.
So let's bring our guest up. I'll have our guest introduce her name and speciality.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, how's it
Welcome,
going?
welcome. It's good to have you. I see you got some of that nasty whiskey I told you not to do. Geez, sipping on it slow. That's good.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
Word?
Actually. No, it's not that bad. It's good. It has a little sweet to it. You know?
Oh, she's the second person to say it's sweet.
All I taste is
Maybe whiskey ain't supposed to be sweet.
whiskey. This is whiskey, right?
It is.
Okay. We used to bourbon. That's what it is. That's what our problem
But
is.
you know they have the bourbon whiskey too.
So, this ain't it though.
Yeah.
That's this not it. This not it.
Clarify that this ain't the one because it don't
Wait,
taste right.
which one is this again?
This is the
whiskey.
No, I ain't gonna shout out because it ain't black owned, so I ain't shouting that shit out.
Okay.
That's why
They
it
gonna have
tastes
to
like
work on
that.
their own shit. You ain't getting no advertisement on this motherfucker.
Oh my god.
But so name and what do you do?
Oh my God. My name is Beatrice. I am the owner of Mirror Inc., which is a people development and business consulting firm. They specialize in strategy, planning, and logistics. So I help my clients move from reactive to reflective in their business. And I always say how you do one thing is how you do all of it. And we create lifestyles, not careers, because I feel like careers don't exist. Most of our lives are stuck between, making money or sleeping or dreaming about making money. And so we got to get comfortable with what we do, especially as entrepreneurs, small businesses, and people living in organizations. So, yeah.
How does that?
Let me ask a question quickly. How may any of our listeners contact you?
Oh, they can go to my website at mirrorinc360.com. I also have a book called Mindless Behaviors. I'm breaking through unseen barriers, so I do talk a lot about behavior patterns and awareness. So,
Is that
Do a
out
lot
of
of
an
work.
audio book?
yep.
Yeah, I'm
word?
You
It
can
is?
order it on the website.
Oh,
shit.
yeah. That's what I'm talking
I'm about to soak that up.
Yeah,
then.
me
You'll
too.
find a lot of good nuggets in there. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Respect.
Okay.
Respect. All right. So you're on here because we got a topic. For the most part, one element of this topic we're quite fucking confused about. And it's this terminology that's being used that I hear quite often. And that is toxic masculinity. Oh, so you're familiar with it?
I hear it a lot, but like you said earlier, what does that really mean?
That's what I'm asking you. What is it?
We are curious.
You are really curious.
Oh my.
Based on the doctrine, I'm not gonna go into that. I'm just playing. For me, honestly, if you're gonna identify something that's toxic, you toxic. So I always say that we live in mirror worlds. So as above, so below. So what you put in is what you get out. So how you feel about yourself is what you attract, right?
Right.
So if you say someone is toxic, it means that there are some aspects of you that are toxic. So we can talk about toxic masculinity, but do you notice the people that talk about toxic masculinity and all those topics, do you realize their personality might be walking narcissist, think they're greater than holier than thou, have a superiority complex? So I say that it all depends. Toxicity is the person that is defining it, and the person is saying that person is toxic is basically seeing an aspect of them that is toxic.
So what you basically saying is energy match energy.
Energy
So the
match
people
energy.
that's busting out saying this toxic this, toxic that, is not is pointing their fingers out, but not realizing there's three fingers pointing back at the ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe we can just pull it back just a bit, right? Let's slash toxic, and let's just see if we can discuss masculinity. And do you perhaps have a definition for that?
Or even what it looks like.
A masculine person, I think a masculine is the ultimate protector. They're supporters of, they are like the ultimate yin and yang. So I always say a feminine female is that yin, it's the other half of a masculine. So traditionally, Nah, let me not say traditionally, because we have the traditional person, the modern person. They're all the same thing, actually. So let's talk traditionally. If we talk about masculinity, we're talking about support. We're talking about protection. We're talking about ultimate providers, right? And we're talking about people. They're men, they don't need to be rough on the edges, but it's almost like they command the room and they command order. And to me, masculine men are the masters of the physical. So everything physical, everything materialistic, everything outside, that in, out. So like everything is like, of course y'all going to be really good at money. Of course y'all going to be really good at business. Not saying that women are, but we do have a certain set of skills. So a certain set of roles and certain set of skills unconsciously that masculine men have versus women have. And I like how you say masculinity, because we don't want to. We have like all different types, alternative terms for things now in between and whatever we think that is. Okay, but that's why I view a masculine person as the ultimate.
So a lot of your what you said in terms of masculinity has a lot to do with male. So
Well, wait.
Not a little.
Wait. Not
well, that's
necessarily.
what I heard.
What I heard is her own personal view of what a masculine man is.
Right.
She even did the juster, "Arr," what she said, right? Remember that? And so because it's perspective, because in all actuality, that nerd, this, shoulders droop, not speaking, shy, still is masculine. Because masculine means of a boy or man. That's the actual definition of a boy or a man. So by definition, just being born a boy or a man assigns masculine to you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just that. That's just the definition. Just like being born as a woman or a girl is feminine. It's assigned to you as of definition.
Right. So that's what I was saying. That's what in hearing that information, it was describing a male. And my transition and ask was, so how or what does it look like if we assess that or we attribute that to a female? What does that look like?
So it's a masculine energy. So when we think about masculine, people, they say some women are masculine by nature. They're a little bit more commanding, or they're a lot more rational, or they come off a little bit more direct in their communication. And that's where we define the generic version of what a man is, like a masculine man, a masculinity. Let's say masculinity. And I say it's an energy. We can say it's an energy. It's a way of being. So like logical, all the rational, all one order, need a lot more strategic. There's just masculine traits that you see it more with women in business, but sometimes depending on the circumstances or trauma and everything like that, they could adapt a lot of those extreme masculine traits.
Do you think that, do you think that those masculine traits are conditioned onto the women of America, especially the black women?
I think it is a conditioning, and this is where it goes. I feel like there is a hierarchy, is an underlying hierarchy when it comes to colorism is a huge thing, right? You have the different color spectrums, and like you have the black women, the Asian, and everything, and like depending on the pecking order, I feel like notoriously black Black women have a lot more of a disadvantage. In when it comes to relationships, and sometimes when it comes to career settings, that they overcompensate by saying compensate by utilizing that masculine energy to get to different places that they need. So I feel like as far as the U.S., a lot of the reasons is because of circumstances and situations that are conditioned and we go through.
So you feel women have had to adapt for survivability, basically?
Yes.
Okay. And in adapting in survivability, how do you think that is being played out?
Yeah, it's being played out that women are more, like we said, masculine in the workplace, or I can't say we say, oh, women can be a little bit more feistier, a little bit more aggressive, and like have to be more of like in that survival, because we have the survival mode. And I feel like that's a conditioning that we go through due to the fact that our living situations basically permit us to do that. And then we learn that sometimes it's generational. Our parents had to hustle, or we saw our moms and our aunties and in our family, our descendants basically had to figure it out, and they have to struggle. So we feel that that's the way of life, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's all a mindset, it's all a conditioning, that what we see is what we mimic and what we put out there. So
yeah. I even had to watch your old man get beat with a whip, in front of you. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you had to be strong, with your tender word that was going to save his life, or to tend to his wound with your tenderness. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you had to become a little bit more stronger. Mm-hmm. However, understanding this and knowing this, how does that affect the cornerstone of the world, which is the Black family? What I mean? How does the masculine man by nature deal with the masculine woman by conditioning, to form this union and or family, without addressing the fact that my feminine queen, you cannot out masculine me because I am born this way.
Yeah.
And you're conditioned this way. Mm-hmm. And because of that, we're bumping heads. Yeah. But I need you to be more feminine.
Mm-hmm. We're just recently having these conversations. This is not conversations that happen like at the dinner table or anything like that. Some people are not even aware that some of the root of these issues are actually conditioning, and it's the condition. And I always say culture, condition, communication. Our culture basically bring that out in us, and then we sometimes, or most of the time, are not aware that we're even doing it. So most people that are super ultra masculine, especially women, sometimes they don't even know that they're really having those traits or anything. They just basically doing what they know.
Right.
And the behavior.
That's the conditioning.
And so that's that conditioning. So like, especially with my work, you had to unlayer those. You had to unravel those like behavior patterns. For me, like years ago, I was a little bit of a tomboy in high school. And then when I started college, I was like, I don't need to be a boy. I'm born a girl. Like I want to have my like hair done. I want to do all of the prissy things, but at the same time, I want to have balance. I just still want to understand, right? So I strive for not only my freedom, but to understand life from different perspectives and become curious. I had to strategically uncondition myself from that masculine nature, because it's not only, my parents are Nigerian, so it's not only in America. There's a lot of like masculine energy is over. We all have a balance of feminine and masculine, but like a lot of Black women tend to be a little bit over masculine, right? because of some of the survival and some of the things, the conditioning that we have to endure through time. I feel like one of the reasons why there's a clash in many of the relationships is because both of them are not even aware of who they are in themselves and how they even show up in the world, right? Because somebody that is aware would see that their partner, okay, they have a little bit of a masculine energy. Maybe it's coming from different conditioning. And so it takes a certain type of person to just look and say, you know what? Maybe just breaking those barriers and start having those conversation. Most of the time I find that we can't afford to care because we're constantly in that survival mode. We can't afford to care. And like when you're dating, when you're in a relationship, we're too close to engage. We're like, oh, we coming back home. We're sleeping in bed together. You can be sleeping with the devil. You don't even know. Just saying. So, I mean, when we talk about the toxic masculine or even a toxic feminine, first thing we need to understand, are they even aware that they really are doing those behaviors? And the ones that it's very fun to look on social media. I'm about to get rid of my toxic friends. I'm about to delete all of them. I'm just be laughing like, oh my God. And it's going to be the person that says that is the most toxic in all of them.
Usually, yeah.
Well, I don't want to, personally, I don't want to assess blame on nobody. You do what you do, whoever you is, right? But I'm going to simply say that I refuse to allow anyone to put a term in front of masculinity, which I have naturally, to try to describe me so it fits your life. Because I'm born masculine, and that means that I can be the most masculine person I could be because this is what I'm born with, right? And my goal is to be as much as I'm born with as possible. Yeah. So I could be as much of a man as I want to, and you don't get to stand in front of me and say, you can only be a man. I'm a big black man, and when I walk in the world, you know what I mean, people expect me to shrink so that they feel comfortable with me around you, right? You know what I mean? My face may not be as beautiful as you like it to be, so therefore I might look mean or I might look intimidating, whatever the case may be, right? But I get to be me, man. I mean, I ain't gonna hurt you, and if you scared that I'm gonna hurt you, then that's your fault. I don't care if you're scared. You'll be all right. But I'm still gonna be me. My man, long time ago, he told me, he say, when you walk in a area where white folks in it, they expect you to move for them, right? And I was like, bullshit. That ain't true. And so I start to see, and boy, do they expect you to move.
Yep.
And until they realize that you go
shoulder
box them,
That's
and,
right.
then they move, and then they just clear a path for you. You know, like the Red Sea, they split. You know what I mean? But either way, the world believes that they can control, you know, even through our kids, talking about you can change your sex or whatever they talking about. You know what I mean? Either way you look at it, they believe that they can control how much man that I am based off your opinion. How? And try it.
Well, I'd be thinking one of the best things that's happening on a lot of platforms, and even this one here, because I'm not one to put blame on black men or black women. That's not my style. Yeah. My style is always us getting together and working shit out and figuring it out, period. No matter how uncomfortable it may feel, sometimes it's going to be difficult conversations and all of that. But the bottom line is our goal is about our people. It's about our success. So let's get uncomfortable. Let's get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable.
Right.
And one of the major conversations is, you know, this whole masculine aspect and allowing the conversation with a woman saying, hey, look, this is how I feel comfortable. This is what I expect when it comes to a woman. This is what I need. And if you're not that, then maybe I move on to someone else. But at least I'm saying out loud what my expectations and what it looks like. Yeah. And we both have that conversation back and forth without pointing the finger, say, see, you didn't do it. I told you, and you still didn't do it. See, that's that fall behind personality, and that's not how we're going to improve. We're only going to improve when we're going to receive what's being had and just kind of move on with it. Again, being uncomfortable with these kind of dynamics and conversations, that's the only way that we're going to progress.
Yeah, and I totally agree. Well, you see, the interesting part about it is I always tell people, who told you to dim your light? Who told you, why are you having all these assumptions before you even walk in the door of what people are going to do? Because, like, haters exist upon recognition. If you recognize them, then they become a hater. If you don't see them, that means that you're vibing high enough that doesn't even bother you, right?
It don't matter.
One of the biggest challenge I'm seeing is that, like, the lack of self-accountability for the actions you do, right? Okay, I do my bad behaviors. You can do your bad behaviors in relationship, but at the same time, are you holding yourself accountable and saying, hey, I apologize for X, Y, and Z, and I won't do this again. But most of the time in relationships, in different settings, most people are repeat offenders. And when you're a repeat offender and you have, it becomes abuse, right? So a lot of us, we have cultural abuse, we have work abuse, we have relationship, we have all types of abuse and along the spectrum, which already makes it toxic. Already, right?
Yeah.
So whether it's a man or a female, there is some form of tendencies, and we have to be able to check ourselves and become aware of it, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I always say, when you walk into a room, I tell my clients, you don't slouch like this, you don't do this, you don't do things, you don't do any type of behaviors to make people think that you're weaker. Or make them think that they could run you over. And the challenge is that most people self-esteem is already shaken by the time they even walk into some of these rooms or even walk into different relationships, right? So they're doing things off of fear. But when you fear things and you don't even stand in your power and know who you are, this is when you have all of these toxicities. Even if it's not my fault, I should be taking accountability for it, for the part that I play in it. You know what I'm saying? So I always say, Black men, even our people, I said, we always trying to ask for permission. I was in a conference one day and we were talking about different African nations. We're talking about like, we're going to have this country come in and help with infrastructure and development. I said, you always have people invading your spaces. We're kind of like, oh, come help me. Oh, please, come help me. And I know I'm toxic, but I'm not going to say I'm toxic. I'm just going to say I'm the victim, and slavery and colonizing is it's all your fault. It's all your fault. It's all your fault for burning and ruining my life and the generations before us. And you're just like, when are you going to hold yourself accountable and do better? We can't be lawn hoarders and be activists. That's why I call activists lawn hoarders. They on the outside lawn saying, basically, see me, and you have to change this rule. They'll change it all right, but they're going to change it to benefit them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, who's really dimming your light?
Only one dims your light is you. That's why it's called self-esteem. It's about yourself.
Who's really dimming your light? Who's dimming your relationship? Who's dooming it? Who's making it toxic?
Well, let's also talk about, because I don't want to be one-sided here in this conversation, right? I also want to talk about the men, the maybe too masculine men, or you can even say the not masculine enough man, and his part and his role in these Black relationships that should be tighter, should be more secure, should be stronger, so that we can build exactly what you're saying, that voice that we can kind of correlate from within. You know what I mean? But it has to be based off something. It can't be based off nothing. If you got 500,000 people that think 500 different thousand ways, then you ain't never gonna get nowhere. We all got to be thinking the same thing at the same time in order for us to move. We are strong. I promise you, we're strong.
Yeah.
And we can slice anything in our way. they just condition. They're spending billions and billions of dollars trying to condition us to think differently so that we can not join together and not be strong. You know what I mean? It's us to us. We just like in the Matrix. All you got to do is wake up. You wake up one day and be like, I'm going to deal with black. And we all just say that. Look how strong we didn't got.
Yeah.
But I digress. I don't want to get too far into that.
Oh, I could go there. Go all the way.
But I still want to talk about that man and how you feel about that man who maybe believe that he's too strong or too tough to show his woman that feminine aspect, as you said earlier in the show, that you got the masculine and the feminine in the same person, right?
Yeah.
And a man got to show that femininity to his woman, you know what I mean? That soft part, that tender part, that care part, right? What about the men who can't because they believe that they have to be so masculine with you?
Well, they're gonna have to break down that. To me, they're gonna have to break. They have a lot of work to deal with because at the end of the day, I know the conditioning is like there is a social thing that men should hold in their feelings. They should they should not express them and everything like that. The problem, the toxicity in that is we're human beings. We all have emotions. Violence is anger is an emotion. Most people have anger, especially men have anger, resentment.
Oh, there you go, especially men, huh?
Everybody got anger.
Do you know?
Okay,
do you know statistics say y'all women go get into a fight faster than the man is in the club? I promise.
But who bring people to war quicker?
The women.
Destroy.
I tell you, the white woman.
I said the white
The white woman. She convinced her man. She'd say, "Oh, he did this," and that man would go to war for her.
Resources, religion, status don't bring you to war neither.
That's all.
Oh, you're not gonna say the super
woman.
ego is not?
Huh?
You gonna
No,
say
I'm just
everything
talking
is
smack,
women?
but I'm just talking a little smack.
Just a little bit. I'm just saying that like sometimes men have actions, those like emotions, those anger or that ego. I don't say
ego.
Let's not say ego. Let's say super ego, because if we define what ego means, is a person with self-importance, and we're all important, right? But if your ego is inflated, is a problem. Okay, so people always say shut down your ego. You telling me to shut down my individuality? Right. No, we can't do that. Yeah. So since we're emotional beings, it is up to the man, to like be able to work through his feelings and emotions to emotionally regulate himself so he can be as open, he can be as tender, and he can be as caring. And he does without it being feminine. And without it saying that,
it's up to the man?
Huh?
It's up to the man?
You got an unfortunate...
But wait, we can't get taught by the woman? We can't get taught by a woman? If not being tender is not in our nature, we need to be taught to be tender by somebody who is tender.
You got to be willing, but you got to be willing.
Wait a minute, you are our moms. What do you mean willing? You control our every move up into a point, so you can install tenderness in us, baby.
But you have to be willing and be open to it.
Who? The man or the woman?
The man.
Don't she got to be willing and openness to instill tenderness in her kid?
Of course, it's leading from the heart, and most men lead from the mind.
You stuttering, baby. You stuttering.
I am not stuttering.
I'm just saying, what's happening? What are we talking about here?
I am just saying. You made me forget my
she even forgot the point. Okay. Get her, mama. Let me. I'll just hush it on up.
You wasn't getting
her.
I clearly said this is I derived from a platform where it's about we got to heal our each other's shit. For a man to be able to express his emotion, it has to be someone on the other side of that to be able to receive it. Now, when you talk about hyper masculine and so on and so forth, right now we live in a world that says masculine is this, and both male and female are hypered up to that element. So a man doesn't necessarily have a backdrop to kind of to express. As a matter of fact, man has his other fellas to even say anything about emotion. I can't tell you how many times me and him be like, hey, man, we need to talk, where I couldn't talk to a sister or a woman or whatever to whatever factor, because the reception of it wasn't received. It was actually more of like what a guy would respond to, like, get over it, you're cool, buck up, you'll get over it, you'll be good, right? But when he and I talk, it's like, damn, I'm fucked up, it's emotion, it's this, man, well, yeah, we go into the depths and curves of emotion, logic, all of it. So it's an actual conversation. So he and I, or fellas, is sitting with fellas and having to figure this out when the platform should be in front of you, because you were blessed with that. You were given that from Jump Street. But unfortunately, a society is now saying, is now giving you this dynamic where you're acting like us. And not all of y'all, but when we try to present that platform, it's bounced back. It's like a brick wall.
Because it's another man you're dealing with. Because there's a lot of it's a lot of masculinity. Know that we love you, and we love you to death. But I will, as a compromise, be more tender to you. And all I ask in return is you be more feminine to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I enjoy your soft touch, and I enjoy your soft looks, and I enjoy your soft tone. I do. And I want more of it because I can't get enough of it. But and you trying to sound like me, I don't want to hear no man.
Right.
I don't. I don't. The cussing me and saying mean stuff, you know what I mean? Like, yikes.
It's like if you, a good case in point, trying to get me to do something, right? You can be, take out the trash, every day, and take out the trash, trash, right? And you got this in your voice, and you got this annoyance in your voice, and sometimes you petty, so you talk about me or whatever. If it was some this, you probably do it, right? Just this old mind manipulation shit. When if you would have just been like, baby, I really need you to take out the trash, right here, right? You're like, touch the beard real quick or some shit, like, shit, well,
run it.
Nigga, it's every day I'm pushing that shit. What we talking about right now? Right? Because it's the approach in femininity, you can get me to do damn near any and everything if you remain in your feminine way. But if you try to tell me like a dude, I'm like, I'm bucking up too. Like, well, who in the room? What's up? What we doing?
I feel like people want to be seen, valued, and heard, whether it's a male or female. It's back to my point. In some cases, we can't afford to care because we're all in our own world. We're all in our head, and we only reacting to what we know, right? And most of the time, like, I had a lot of clients through the years, and I've worked with a lot of people. My background is in marketing, and the whole point is to create behaviors. I'm going to tell you something. Listening and comprehension skills is not humanity's strong suit. Why is that? Because we're reacting to every situation, right? So if you're telling me something is going to be that brick wall, I'm only going to react to what I know. I'm only going to react to what my aunt, my auntie, my uncle, all of what I see, right? And sometimes it's unfortunate because you're standing, somebody is breaking down and saying their emotion, telling you their emotion, and you're like, whatever, right? But that's kind of like not listening. I always say to my friends, like, you really, they will say some messed up stuff, and in their head, they don't think it's messed up.
Right.
And I'm just sitting there like, how you crazy? And like, they're like, why are you telling me that? You better go call this person. You better go call that man back and sit with them and talk. And I had to break it down because they have this wall up, right? And they don't even know that they're doing it. And so some don't know that they're doing it. And then others are doing it purposely, and that's unfortunate. So
this is a subconscious thing sometimes.
Some of it, yeah.
Right. Other at which we go back into conditioning. So how do we, since one has been conditioned to be this particular way, how do we as a people work on breaking down that conditioning and conditioning to something that's more beneficial for our community?
I think that sometimes in like it's in I'm gonna say it like this. We need to start having direct communications and like just saying, hey, you're not listening to me. I'm not feeling heard. What's going on? And sometimes that's a trigger. Like, oh, wait, it's not my intention, right? So we literally sometimes need to be direct instead of being like, well, that person ain't listening, F them. Like, F them, I'm going up.
Dismissive, yeah.
And I think that that's what we do. We kind of dismiss it and make it once you start to dismiss things and make it okay, it's already teaching that person how to treat you. Okay, well, if they responded to this the one way, but okay, so if they keep doing that, I'm just gonna keep doing that behavior because it's okay.
Right.
So sometimes we gotta autocorrect it and redirect that energy. And like you can have conversations with anyone. You just gotta disrupt their behavior patterns, and how to do it is directly communicating and said, well, I do this a lot, especially if I'm talking in circles. If somebody's talking in circles, I'm like, listen, I'm not being heard here. I need you to stop and listen to me.
May I offer some? Just from a man's point of view.
Yeah, go ahead.
We love our women, and we don't know if y'all know that, but we love y'all to death, and we need y'all to understand that. We need y'all to open y'all hearts and accept us back. We know that there's been a lot of conditioning telling you to get rid of that black man. That black man ain't nothing. Stand on that black man neck. You know what I mean? But it's conditioning, baby. It's conditioning. It's somebody trying to tell you to leave us, and you are all we got. Nobody in the world likes us.
Nobody
one likes
fucks
us.
with us.
Nobody. The only thing we got left is you and your support. And we ask you, please don't take it from us. Yeah, we can be fucked up. Excuse my language. I apologize for even saying that. We could be messed up. Men. However, we can learn and we can adapt. Because we are the first man, the original man, and we have been able to adapt up until now, and we can adapt. All we need for y'all to do is teach us how we can love you better.
And there's nothing we wouldn't do for y'all, hands down.
I can't even, I don't have no comeback to that. It is the truth. It is the truth. I love my black men. And I know that we all need to do our part at one point. And the thing is that it's unfortunate there are operations out there that we should not be talking about that basically keeps the groups in like segregated, and some of this is psyop. It's a psychological warfare, right? So if you're not really acknowledging that that's what's happening, especially on both sides of the story, you're totally just going like this. I'm going to say it like this. Black men needs to realize and wake up that they're the ultimate protectors of humanity. They're one of the roots along with the black woman, and then every race get built up between it. So if you break the root back, you break humanity. And this is where the black man needs to understand that y'all are Avengers. Y'all part of the Avengers. If y'all wanted to, if we get to our potential, man, shoot, all the other beings are gonna be running.
Yeah, real shit.
You bring all the last group to come together, the black race come together is a wrap. And that's kind of like the battle. Like, you don't want us to be together. Even in Africa, all these corruptions, all of these people embezzling money and stuff like that. Black men going to this, black men going to that. I'm going to tell you one thing. If you break down the ultimate defense, where do you leave planet Earth? Because every person knows, everyone in this planet, everyone knows that is smart, knows that if you break the black man, you break humanity. To break the protectors, the ultimate protectors, even though every race is there, but this is the base. why do you think all of this stuff is happening? Drug is introduced and everything. Basically, thugs and like shootings and everything, jail, people they doing all of that just to oppress the black man. Yeah. And the woman, we're like, my son is dying. We're like, we can't even, you're traumatized, right? Because we're seeing all of this and we're like, well, we're not wanted anymore.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at that, look at how much you can look at all the all these agencies that have done all these experiments just to break this group up.
Yeah. Well,
so we gotta like understand our divinity.
And I think personally, I think this is that's one of the elements of this platform is to bring us together to have these conversations and to show our power and to embrace our power and to multiply our power. That's really the bottom line about it all. Yeah. So I really, really want to thank you for coming on our episode. It was very inspiring, and we got a lot out of it. What you think?
Absolutely. She's the best.
Right.
Well, thank you.
Well, you want to shout out your business again, please?
Yeah, it's Mirror Inc. You can find me at www.mirrorinc360.com. You can buy my book, Mindless Behaviors, Breaking Through Unseen Barriers. And yeah, you can send me a note, and I'll see you then.
One last thing. Is there a black business you want to shout out to?
There's multiple black businesses. Oh, I could shout out to my my favorite media person right now called the Startup Hustle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Startup Hustle. All right,
Yes.
all day.
All right.
I want to shine a light on where I learned how to how to train in kung fu, boxing, and a bunch of other martial arts. Circle of Discipline. That's COD, Circle of Discipline, Minneapolis.
All right, and then I'm gonna shout out where I go get my little gear, my little Dobbs, you know what I mean? Give me some Gators real quick, you know what I mean? Shout out to Tia. Her store is Top to Bottom in Brooklyn Center.
Okay.
You can go to toptobottomfashion.com if you want to check her out and tell her MIB sent you.
All right, so that's our show. We appreciate y'all for checking in and signing up. Remember, all you got to do is go to YouTube, subscribe, follow us, like, comment, do what you need to do, but get it poppin'. Peace out.
Deuce.